talk about what you think went wrong and then how your girls played.
Yeah, last week was a really tough week for us. We were able to play at home on Thursday against Tarleton. Had a great game against our rivals. Thought that we really played well together as a team. We had 5 players that scored in double digits, really shared the ball well, and put up a lot of good shots and really good team basketball. And then, we had a road game at UTA, which is, if you were at the game, like, you could see that we had more fans than the other team did. It was awesome. The ACU turnout was phenomenal. Lots of purple in the stands. Came out, had a great start, early attack. Really good first quarter, and then we went cold a little bit from the three-point line and from the free throw line. But I really credit UTA. I have said this before, but they've got some of the best individual players in the conference, and I think they were a little bit salty after dropping one on the road Thursday night, and maybe played with a little more aggressiveness, especially in the second half. But I thought our team did some really nice things. We just we missed some pretty wide open 3-point shots that would have changed the whole strategy in the fourth quarter. But good week overall. Win at home. We dropped a close one on the road, and so I think that our team is really where we want to be right now. There's just some things we've got to tighten up a little bit in practice, but just looking forward to the next week.
And I know you guys are a 3-point shooting team, but a big difference in that game was kind of points in the paint. They had nearly double your points in the paint. Are you going to be okay with that trade-off of you guys get more threes, they'll get more points in the paint, or kind of how's that going?
Yeah, I think on Saturday our help side defense was not very good. We just were not alert. And again, really credit UTA. I mean, they're really good drivers. They can move the ball and drive the ball into the paint really fast, and so you've got to constantly be moving when the ball's in flight. You can't just stare at the ball, or you're going to be step slow. And so our help side defense was not very alert on Saturday.
And Claire was able to get out on the floor again on Saturday. How good is it that she was kind of able to get out there? And
who?
Claire Graham.
Oh.
I thought that's what I saw in the stats.
I mean, she played Thursday too. She hasn't been out.
Sorry. I know she got hurt, like she hurt her ankle, right?
No,
Addison.
Addie did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Anyways, talking about Meredith, she got her second start, I believe, because she started Thursday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
But that's back-to-back starts for a freshman. How do you think she did in her performance coming this week, starting on her first game besides, essentially?
Yeah, Meredith Mays has been our backup 5 all season behind Addie Martin, and she got 2 starts last week and really handled it well. It may not seem like that big of a deal, but our freshmen, they've played really not very many Division I games. They've played 16 Division I games, and every opponent we play is a little bit different, so we're asking them to follow a different game plan, and I thought Meredith handled it really well. On Thursday, she was pretty exciting. I mean, she was all over the place and got big rebounds. I think she had 9 rebounds in that game, and then on Saturday she played really well again. And so, asking a lot of our freshmen, we've got 2 freshmen that are starting right now and playing some invaluable minutes. But overall, as a freshman class with Meredith and Peyton and Gracie and Emma, I've got to look back, but I've got to think in the last probably 4 or 5 games, they're averaging about 30 to 32 points as a class, which is phenomenal. There's not many D1 programs in the country that are playing 4 freshmen.
And that's a big kick up in minutes when it comes to at least Meredith. Is there any worry about concern, or or she ready to go? She's kind of willing and kind of ready to take on that extra role.
I think Meredith is ready to take on any role that we assign to her. She's such a coachable player. She really embodies team first wins, and so whatever we ask of her, she's really trying to do that the best that she can. And so the extra minutes that she played last week, I think, are just invaluable experience for her that's going to help her throughout the rest of the season.
And let's talk Utah Tech, and kind of 3 straight road games in the WAC. Kind of talk about that stretch and how it's going to be tough, but it'll be good.
Yeah, we're about to have our second game of 4 in a row on the road, and then these next 2 are both in Utah. So we'll head out on Tuesday and be going until Sunday, playing Utah Tech and then Southern Utah. Playing on the road it's difficult. The travel is pretty crazy. But we just, have to get our players just focused on things they can control and not worry about that we're playing in somebody else's gym, playing in a different time zone, being out of class all week. Our players are very conscientious students, and we have to help them, just kind of focus on what they can control. Don't worry about missing class. I'm sure their professors are giving them what they need. We have plenty of time on the road, for study hall, things like that. And so, this is our first really long trip like this. We've got 3 of these trips in the WAC. This is the first of 3, and so we'll see how our team responds to it. But it'll be fun. It's always a fun adventure to go on the week-long trips.
And I got to ask this. I'm sure you've heard about TCU, the whole walk-on situation. You guys played them earlier this year. When was the last time you've ever heard of a Division I Power 5 program kind of doing that? And kind of your thoughts on it, especially as somebody who played that team earlier this season?
I've never heard of a Power 5 having open tryouts. It's very unfortunate for their program. And, immediately when I saw that, I thought, Coach Campbell needs to go talk to the volleyball players. They're all bigger than the basketball players anyway. And sure enough, I saw a graphic yesterday that one of the volleyball players is joining their team. I feel really bad for the coaching staff and for the players that are injured. Mark did a great job when he got that job of bringing in some key transfers, some veteran players that are in their 5th and 6th year playing basketball, and those are the ones that they're playing without right now. I know with Sedona Prince, she'll be back in a few weeks. She had a really bad broken finger, but there's other players that they had season-ending injuries, so they will not be back. But I've literally never heard of that. Selfishly, we hate it because it hurts our net. They were 14-0 when they had their first injury and had their first loss. And so, every opponent that we play, we kind of cheer them on because it helps your RPI and your net. But I feel really bad for them, and, it's unfortunate. You hate to even think it, but all of us are at risk for injury every day when our players step out on the court. We've had several players miss games this year because of injury and illness, and you never know when it's going to strike. So prayers for them. Golly, they had the hottest start they've ever had, and the best TCU women's basketball team that we've seen in a long, long time. And then to be struck with injuries like this it's pretty wild, and it's really sad.
Thank you.
Coach, just 2 questions for you. This Thursday at Utah Tech, what specific things have you observed from them? Yeah,
they're really difficult to guard. They play a different style of play than anyone else. They're just 5 out. There's no true post player. So you have to figure out, how do you put your best defensive lineups out on the floor, knowing that they're not going to have a big posting up down the paint. Everybody's active out on the perimeter. They shoot threes like we do. We're 4th in the country in 3-point frequency. They're 5th. And so, both teams want to put up lots of threes. It's going to be like a 83-point shot attempt for both teams, if we allow that. We just, again, help side defense has been our Achilles heel in conference games, and so we've got to be aware of that, how important that is, that, we play together as a team and everybody's rotating on drives and things like that. So they're a tough team to defend for sure, especially at home.
And if you don't mind talking about the Saturday opponent, Southern Utah, what have you seen from those guys?
Yeah, Southern Utah is reigning WAC champions. They won the season and the tournament last year. They lost a couple of people, one to graduation and one, their big post player, who's arguably the best post in the league, transferred out. So they've got a different looking team. They're relying on some different players to step up. A very well coached team for sure. I think, what we've got to do is just focus on, one game at a time and get fully prepared for Utah Tech, and then we'll jump into our Southern Utah Scout. But both teams, they'll be a handful for sure.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.